Future 1-2. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We got a pretty good episode for you today. We are back with the Future coverage of the new album called The Real Me. I've been thinking a lot. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I stayed up pretty late thinking about if I should review this album later down this week. And, I've made the decision that I will probably, do an album review at the end of the week because, a lot of the songs here are trending. Every time I go on the YouTube trending charts, a new Future song from this album is trending. You know what? Fuck it. We'll cover the album later down the week. We'll do like a little bit of a Ken Carson / Future double album review next, later down the week. That'll be pretty fun. But welcome to the show, guys. This is the number one trending on YouTube right now, Future 1-2. We already talked about Tank Top Pluto, which honestly, I'm going to be real with you, I did not like Tank Top Pluto, didn't really like it that much, I'll just be honest with y'all. But, 1-2, I'll give it a chance, we'll talk about it. The funny thing about 1-2 is that, on the comments, and you listen to the song, this is like the remix of the Freddy Krueger theme. If you ever watched Freddy Krueger, back in the day, that ending of the 1-2 thing, the 1-2 song at the very end of the movie, the creepy girl voice, it's the similar beat, it's the same piano keys, but, put a trap beat over it. Overall, it honestly sounds pretty good. This is one of the better songs off the album. This is probably the first, non-negative review that I definitely do have for Future here. But I will say, the only thing holding back this song is how short it is. Like, this song is like, it starts and it ends very quick. It's honestly almost a 1-minute song. So, because there's only one rap verse, and then the hook kind of just plays over and over and over again, and then we're just kind of left with that, and then the song kind of ends. So, the only thing holding the song back, in my opinion, is just, a longer verse, maybe a couple of verses. Let's be honest, maybe some crazy flow switches, with the second verse, something like that. You don't get that on this song, but I guess, it gets the job done. I guess that's why it's number one fucking trending. I don't fucking know. But anyways, let's get into it. Like I said, the beat, it's simple, dark piano keys, lace it with some nice 808s, some nice trap beat sounds, and you overall have a pretty nice sound in my opinion. This trap beat sounds pretty good, nothing too bad. I like the 808s, I like the drums, I like the, use of the piano here. And I do like how the piano is not the same piano loop that I've been hearing for like doing this show for 5 years. Usually a lot of these rappers, they will take a piano loop and they will just use it to death, and you can just kind of tell. Like, you can tell over like 20 rap songs, from different artists that they use the same fucking piano loop. Like, I do remember in 2020, and I will never forget 2020 and 2021, mostly 2021, because all of these rappers were using the same piano loops on their trap beats, and it was kind of making me lose my mind, because I was like, wow, this beat sounds the same. It's a different rapper, but this beat sounds the same. This beat sounds the same. This beat sounds the same. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? We can't like add like a little bit of a switch up on the piano. Like, what the fuck is happening? So, I do like how the piano does sound a little bit different on this song. So overall, I do enjoy that. And I will say, the fucking 808s, they boom. The drums, they fucking boom. So no complaints there. And then I will say, I do like the hook. The hook is like a play on, if you ever watched Freddy Krueger, so if you ever watched that movie, this is kind of the same play on that hook, which I do like. I think it sounds pretty good. I think it can easily get stuck in your head. So this hook is definitely a winner. This hook is very short, but very repetitive in a sense. But I think, that could work. That can work to its favor. The repetitiveness, the easy to really grasp onto the hook, so it's just going to easily get stuck in your head. So overall, I do enjoy the hook. I think it sounds pretty good. Then, the one rap verse. Now, here's the thing about the one rap verse. It sounds good. I like the flow. I wish there was a little bit more, though. And that's kind of holding this song back from really giving it, like a crazy rating or anything. I think the rap verse is just okay. And that's the only part of the song where I'm like, all right, this is okay. It gets the job done, because it's the same flow. There's not many flow switches on the rap verse, and then it kind of just gets to the hook very quickly. So that's the only thing, in my opinion, that's really holding this song back, is the verse was not really the best, in my opinion. It gets the job done. It sounds good. No big complaints there, but I wish there was just a little bit more, I'm in 2026. I'm sorry, guys. In 2026, I'm wanting a little bit more in my rap verses, I'm wanting just a little bit more, some flow switches, maybe some fucking switch ups, maybe a second verse. That could be cool. I'm not trying to ask for too much here, but, second verse could have been cool. But overall, this song is not bad at all. I'd say, Future 1-2 is actually one of the better songs off this album. The beat's pretty fun with the dark piano keys and the 808s and the trap beat. The flows on the flow with the verse is pretty good, and I do like the hook. So overall, I'll easily give this song a nice 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. Make sure you follow. We got more future coverage coming up, I will probably check out the rest of the trending ones, that are on YouTube, and then we'll probably talk about some of the ones that I fucking hate. Because why the fuck not? Also, did y'all see on Twitter, King Carson? This motherfucker, King Carson, literally responds on Twitter saying that he has to do the Opium Protocol. And basically what that means is that Playboi Carti loves to say an album's going to drop this time, this date, and then it doesn't happen. King Carson's doing the same thing with cartoons. I kid you not. This man drops 3 covers. He drops 3 covers of cartoons. No music, no word of the music, just a little post that says EP. Like, the fuck? Maybe I'm expecting some fucking music instead of 3 covers. All I'm seeing on Twitter is King Carson keeps posting covers of cartoons. Where the fuck is the music? I don't give a shit about the damn covers. It said it was going to drop the 10th. While I'm recording this is the 11th. Is it going to drop next Friday? Is it even going to drop at all? Probably fucking not. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just mad about that. I'm mad every time, Twitter just lies to me. Twitter says something's going to drop, something's going to come out, and this time, everybody's hyped for it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And then, it doesn't come out. I mean, what's going to happen with October? With the whole, duo album with King Carson and Destroy Lonely. Is that also going to get delayed, too? Is that going to get delayed for a whole week, while you're waiting for the fucking, album to come out? You got to wait till next month or some shit because it's Opium Protocol. Opium Protocol. That's what it is. Opium Protocol. I don't fucking get this. I guess it drives more hype for the next time it drops, but it just, oh my god, I remember when Playboi Carti, we were waiting, I think it was a 3-week span, because the first week he said it was going to drop this day, it didn't drop. The next Friday, people were saying, okay, music's going to come out this Friday, didn't drop. And then the third weekend, they said music's going to drop. Playboi Carti officially said it was going to drop, but it didn't drop till, I kid you not, till 6 a.m. I had to wait till 6 a.m. the next day for it to drop. I kid you not. So, You know, I've tried, guys. You know, I've waited. I stayed up all night. It didn't drop. I stayed up. I waited till 12 p.m., you know, and it didn't even drop. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.